One thing I didn't mention in the notes, but that I hope we're still always looking for when I start a problem, if I know at all that I'm going to be factoring, we want to get rid of a GCF. If I look here, all the numbers are even. I also normally think it's easier to work with a positive a value. So I'm going to divide everything here by -2 to start. That's going to leave me with h squared minus 30h minus 7 equals 0. I've divided out that GCF. The next step of our work, we're going to isolate ax squared plus bx. We're going to isolate those first two terms so that we complete the square over here. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. Now we're looking at h squared minus 30h. We're trying to fill that space in, and that's going to all equal 7. So in order to figure out what goes here in this blank space, I'm going to focus on b. Our procedure is always to take half of b and then square it. So half of b is going to be -15. -15 times -15 is 225. So that means the next step in my work is going to be to add that to both sides. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people do is kind of just fill in this blank without making sure they're balancing the equation. And by that, I mean doing the same to both sides. So we're going to add in 225. Now we're looking at h squared minus 30h plus 225 equals 225 plus 7, we get 232. The next step is to factor this perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to move over here just so that I have a little bit more room. I know that that can break down to h minus 15, focusing carefully on the sign of b to help me figure out if it's addition or subtraction. That squared equals 232. To unsquare something, kind of my inverse operation there is to take the square root of both sides, again, balancing my equation. So h minus 15 equals the square root of 232. Now, if I want to solve for h, I'm going to add to both sides. H equals the square root of 232 plus 15. I'm going to use a calculator to evaluate this, but the only thing we're missing, when I see a square root, it can be positive or negative. So that's another really common mistake is only using the positive root. From there, I'm going to figure out the positive square root of 232, add 15, and I'll get one possible h value. I'm going to take the negative square root of 232, add 15, and get my other possible h value.